Please remain standing as we observe 1 minute silence. Thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you to our volunteers, to the orchestra, to our dignitaries. Thank you for your compassion, your dignity, your grace, your grief, and your tears. Kia kaha, assalamu alaikum.
Tēnā tātou ina mahi tukino o te wā. Haere mai tātou katoa i te wā puri nei. My greetings to all gathered here. I greet you acknowledging this troubled time. I welcome you all. Together we feel the same sorrow. Like all of you, I watched with horror on Friday as the events in Christchurch unfolded. An act of hatred perpetrated on groups of innocent people in their places of worship has brought the sickening reality of terrorism and violence to our country. On Friday, we saw the very worst aspects of humanity: intolerance, malevolence and bigotry, enacted with fatal results. 50 lives snuffed out, others changed irrevocably. We will grieve forever. But love exists to drive out hate, and the outpouring of support and solidarity for the victims and for our Muslim communities has demonstrated the very best of human nature.
Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessings be upon all of you. 15th March 2019 will forever be edged as the darkest day for New Zealanders. A despicable and a heinous crime had been committed. 50 innocent lives for no apparent reason except to go and say their prayers in the masjid, the place of worship for the Muslims, have lost their lives. The whole nation is in deep shock. No doubt, many questions will need to be answered as to how this could happen in a peaceful, beautiful country of ours. On behalf of the President of the Federation of the Islamic Association, Dr. Mustafa Farooq, and the whole Muslim community across the country, I wish to express my gratitude to the government and the people of New Zealand for showing your support and solidarity with the Muslim community.
To tell you the truth, it is difficult to see what is real and what is not when I am so confused and angry, and I'm trying very hard not to let these feelings overwhelm me. I have so many questions, hard questions, that I think need to be answered by all of us. Why was our Secret Service busy surveilling our innocent Muslim neighbors and not the extremists who sought to victimize them? Why have the police in this city spent more than $100,000 of taxpayers' money to attack peace activists protesting weapons conferences and arms dealers, while letting racist terrorists acquire semi-automatic weapons? When will politicians, left and right, own up to the fact that they have for years scapegoated and blamed migrants and refugees for social and economic problems that they are not responsible for? And when will they admit?
You are a leading light in this dark time. Your strength and the worldwide felt leadership made us feel safer and more reassured, both for Muslim communities and the wider community of New Zealand. To my Muslim brothers and sisters, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Your loss to the victims' families, I say your loss is unbearable, but you're not alone. Today, we mourn and grieve with you. Your Muslim community across New Zealand, millions of Kiwis across this country mourn and grieve with you. Actually, the whole world is mourning with you. You are in our prayers and our thoughts. I will also want to condemn the right-wing terrorism and white supremacy in the strongest possible terms. Know as a community to act and move forward. I finally wanted to remember those
shot multiple times on Friday and is currently in critical care, and we really need to carry her in all our thoughts and prayers tonight, and we will sit with this grief now. But for the families and for the Muslim community of Christchurch and Aotearoa, we will live with this unchangeable and traumatic reality forever. Thank you. We must allow ourselves to reckon with the profound loss that this act of terrorism has created. We must also sit with an uncomfortable feeling that it did not have to be this way. We often wonder how we can explain these things to our children. And for me, it is always about saying that we live in a world that is not always fair for all people, but that they hold the power to change things. Things may be this way now, but they don't have to be. In order to change things, we need to face them as they are now. This can be a scary and confronting process, but it is the right and it is the necessary thing to do if we want a place where all of our children have a right to live a life and a right to their dignity. Islamophobia Migrant sentiment, anti-migrant sentiment, white supremacy and racism are all real. They kill and they live with us in this country, and they need to be challenged.